If anybody needs the Wi-Fi password, somebody just asked me for it. I have it. If you want it.
Does anybody need it?
So, raise your hand if you need it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get started in a second here, so if you haven't already joined up with the Cahoots, please do so. I apologize in advance for my coughing. I'm getting over being sick, but it wasn't COVID. Thank you. I'm well, but still coughing. Yes, not contagious. All right. Did you get signed in? Okay. All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Are you going? Are you going there, Nathan? He's going. He's going. 5, 4, 3. Nathan, give me a thumbs up when you've got it. You got it? I'm assuming that's a yes. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. We've been gone a long time. We're going to talk about everything that we have done so far this year. So, why did Moses flee Egypt? Was it because he wanted to let loose and pick berries? He committed a crime, his lease on his house was up, or he thought Pharaoh was a jerk? Which could it be? You're thinking back all the way to the beginning of the year. That is correct. What crime did he commit? What crime did he commit? Anyone?
It's a bad one. What is it, Juliet? What?
What?
Murder. We got it over here.
Yeah, we got it. Murder. That is correct. He killed somebody, right? He saw a taskmaster beating another Hebrew, and he killed him. That is what happened. That is why he fled from, I couldn't know how to say flee in the, it was like he flew.
He flew.
All right, here we go. How did God speak to Moses? Very loudly, through an earthquake, in a burning bush, in a vision. Coming back, like I said, all the way back to the beginning of the year. How did God speak to Moses? What could it be? It was in a burning bush. Good.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys remember. Yeah. And the burning bush, Moses asked God what God's name was. Does anyone remember what God said God's name was?
What did God call
It's got two words. 2 words. This is a hard one. I am, or I am who I am is what God replies.
Or Yahweh.
Yahweh is what that translates to in Hebrew, is I am. All right, Izzy is in the lead. Here we go. What did the Israelites eat in the wilderness? Manna and quail, pita and hummus, pheasant and bread, sand. Just sand. Which one was it? All right, that is, whoa, yes, manna. Manna is a word for this like flaky white substance, and what does it mean, Robin?
What is this?
What is this? Literally, manna translates to, what is this?
What is this?
It was like a flaky white substance, but yes, manna and quail, which is a type of bird. All right, here we go. The best.
The best is the best right now.
Is the best right now. What did God give to Moses on the mountain? A really cool hat, spiritual advice, the Old Testament, or the 10 Commandments?
Good question.
Good question. I like to think he got a really cool hat.
I'm trying to imagine what that looked like.
Maybe that came with, the other stuff. All right, here we go. That is correct.
All right, good.
The 10 Commandments. He comes down from the mountain with the 2 tablets, right? He sees them making the golden calf. He breaks them in half because he's mad because they've already broken the 10 Commandments 5 seconds after they've agreed to it. All right. The best remains in the front. Here we go. Who wrote the Small Catechism, that little book we gave you? Pastors from around the country, Martin Luther, the Pope, or Martin Luther King Jr.?
Tricky question.
Who could it be?
Tricky.
Who could it be? Or was it Evan Mayhew?
No,
it was Martin Luther. That's
These are
correct.
our people.
Martin Luther, of course, being different than MLK, the civil rights leader. The best
Wow.
remains the best. Here we go. What does keeping the Sabbath mean? Taking a bath, holding your friends close, resting from work, or praying to God? What does keeping the Sabbath mean? I don't remember this melody. That's correct. It's about
Yep.
the day off. Sabbath is a day off, but you might pray to God when you go to church on our Sabbath. The best remains the best. Here we go. What did we say
Anonymously.
honoring your parents means? Do what they say always at all times, no matter what. Listen, show love, and unless it's dangerous, don't sever the relationship. Buy nice things for your parents at Christmas, or you must get along with your parents and agree with them. Which one could it be?
I remember now.
You remember? Yeah,
They're
that
long
was
sentences.
that was kind of the
Good.
takeaway.
Yep.
That we love our parents, we listen to them, and we keep that connection going with them, unless for some reason it's dangerous to do so. All
That
right.
is honoring.
Got some change in the lower rankings, but the best remains in front. Instead of lying about someone, what does Martin Luther suggest we do instead? Come to their defense and speak well of them? Just leave everything alone and speak the truth? Find people who are so good that you can't lie about them? Or leave it to the jury to decide? What does Martin Luther say? Yeah. While you could just not speak ill of anybody, Martin Luther says we go a little bit further than that and come to their defense and speak well of them. It's a positive, not just neutral. We
Do
try
more.
to do something more. Oh, it's an
Oh,
upset.
Izzy.
Izzy has pulled in front of the best. Here we go. What are the three types of murder? Is it metaphysical, theoretical, and hypothetical? Logistical, encyclical, and liturgical? Transactional, reciprocal, and rhetorical? Or physical, emotional, and spiritual?
Wow. You got to think about this a little bit.
What was this, 3 years ago? 3 years ago, Evan was very ambitious. Really wanted to go hard on that one. Yes.
Oh, way to go.
Wait, I'm sure because you're like, I don't know what any of those other words
Unanimous.
mean. Yes.
The three types of
Physical.
murder.
Physical murder is obviously what we think of when we think of murder. Emotional and spiritual is when we tear people down to hurt them.
They're all under murder.
They're all a kind of murder.
According to
Izzy
Martin Luther.
continues to be in the front.
Way to go.
Here we go. The last question. Instead of stealing, what does Martin Luther suggest we do? Diversify your 401k in order to retire early. Be self-sufficient and pay for your own stuff. Help others improve and protect the things they have. Or just give out free candy every once in a while. Every once in a while, just do something like that. That is correct. More than just being neutral, we go and actually help other people and protect them and improve the things they have. That is what Martin Luther says that commandment is all about. So, the final results are Ryan in third place.
Way to go, Ryan.
Way to go, Ryan. The best.
The best.
In
He's
second
in second.
place. And I'm
Must
assuming I know who this is.
Izzy.
It's Izzy! Congratulations, Izzy.
Thanks for playing.
Very nice, very nice. You can come and I'll find a prize for you in my office if you remember to come up and ask me for it. All right, thank you everybody.
That was good.
Well, I want to know, how's everyone doing tonight? Are you people awake? How are you? Okay, give me a thumbs up, some sideways or thumbs down. Are you awake today? I'm seeing a lot of no's, I'm seeing a lot of maybes. I think I see one yes. I see a couple of yeses. Okay. That's kind of, Pastor Robin and I had a long day too.
Yeah,
so.
I'm like up, sideways.
Yeah, so we're kind of in
Not
the middle.
bad, but
We're kind of in the middle with you.
low
But
energy.
do you want to lead us in some stretches to get us limber?
Yeah,
All right.
totally. Do you want to sing a song?
I was like, I'm sure they're going to be like,
That's what I do in Sunday school when people are sleepy. Okay, stand up, find your space, stretch your body. Yeah, spread out. So if you do any twisting or stretching out, you're not in anyone else's space. Do your neck rolls. Lean into, the strain in your neck or your shoulder, your back. What do you need? Listen to your body. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Yeah. With our hands. This one always feels good to me. Stretching my hands out like this if you're at the computer or something for a long time. You did this in gym class. Did you do this in gym class today? Some stretching? It's always good. It's always good. All right. Get the blood flowing. All right. Sit down. If you're ready.
All right.
Make yourself comfortable.
So you may remember we have kind of gone through a journey this confirmation year. We started with Moses wandering through the wilderness with the Israelites. You saw the burning bush. They left Egypt. And then they received the 10 Commandments. We've been through every commandment except for the last 2, and that is tonight. We are finishing up the 10 Commandments tonight.
Yeah.
So Robin.
The year of the 10 Commandments.
Right. Why don't you take us away?
2 more left. So what is one thing that you wish you had that you don't have? Anybody want to offer? Something you wish you had.
Something that I wish
you had that you don't have. Anybody?
Right now, I wish I had a watch. My phone's getting repaired,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I have
yeah,
no
no
idea what
problem.
time it is.
Yeah, I wish I had more sleep or more rest time.
Yeah. What are some, you can shoot big. What are some things you don't have that you wish you had? What was that? Sure.
The ability to have
just
anything.
To have anything, sure. That checks a lot of
To
boxes.
have that genie in the bottle that you give your
Does
wishes
anybody
to.
want like a pool in their backyard? Does anyone? Not really? Okay. All your friends have pools?
All your friends have pools. You don't need one.
When I was a kid, I would have wanted a pool. Let's see.
I would want the pool, but not the work.
Does anybody want the newest phone if they have like an older phone? Or they're all like, we all have the best phones in the universe.
They're very content, apparently.
Yeah, very content with everything they have. They don't want anything.
Is there anything you wish was different about your life? That's okay. We can think just the answers to ourselves too. But
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wish was different about your life?
I wish I lived a little closer to my family. They're up in Wisconsin.
Yeah. I wish I lived a little closer to my family too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out of state. But I can't be in 2 places at once.
Yeah.
Because I like being here too.
Yeah. Does anybody wish they had more money or maybe had more time? Does anyone wish they could take as much vacation time as they wanted?
That would be nice.
That'd be nice. I see one definite hand in the back.
Yeah, coming up there now that you mention it.
You could duplicate yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, so you could get more done. Yeah, I'd like to get more done.
Who would like to
All of us.
go to any country in the world just at a whim? Yeah?
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. That'd be nice. What about anything that you'd want to change about yourself? If there was one thing you could change about yourself, can you think of what that would be? It's probably something everybody has that they'd like to change about themselves. Maybe.
I'd like not to sweat so much. That's kind of a big thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain things I'd like to have more patience for. Maybe, my not having enough time and not getting things done. That's agitating. So just patience that everything will take the time.
Yeah.
Everything will get done that has to get done, and everything will take the time that it needs to get done.
Yeah, I'm balding. I'd like not to be balding. That would be nice. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate the support.
I'd like to be taller, but I do have a husband who's pretty tall, so that's very helpful. But I do have a step stool.
Right?
Because now we have cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling in our kitchen, so.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to not have to pull that out whenever I need something from the top shelf.
Yeah, I wish I was somebody who was very motivated to exercise. It's just I hate exercise. I'll do it, but some people are like, I love running, and I have hated running since I was in middle school. I'm in pain and I'm tired and someone's yelling at me when I was in track. I was like, what about this is enjoyable? But I wish I was somebody who's just like, yes, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah. I generally just kind of want more, like more time, more energy, more smarts,
Yeah.
more, like it's always been like, man, I wish I did a little more. Just,
Yeah.
I don't want to be selfish or anything or greedy. I just want a little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit better at something.
I wish I was good at like time management. I'm very bad at time management. Being able to like get things done. Does anybody struggle to do their homework? Or to like, yeah, I see that. Or maybe you're like, oh, I've been on my phone for 3 hours and I was supposed to do this thing. Yeah.
I wish it was more spontaneous. Anyone wish they were more spontaneous? Or could be? Had time to be more spontaneous?
Who wishes they were like more brave? Like that they would like go and talk to people or like stand up and do the right thing or.
I wouldn't mind being more brave.
Yeah. Who wants to be like more popular or have more friends? I know there were times in my life where I definitely felt that way.
Well, all these things, when you want something you don't have, or you want more than what you have, or you want yourself to be different, to be more like someone else, that is what we call coveting. And it's something that we all do. And it's something, it's really normal. It's really normal. And we have a definition here, coveting. To yearn to possess or have something. So if you really want to have something,
What does yearn?
or have a hold of something.
What does yearn mean, Pastor Robin?
What is what?
Yearn.
Yearn? What does yearn
Yeah,
mean?
what does that mean?
It means want.
Yeah, I was thinking
really
it was like
want
you really
it.
like you're just like I really want
Yeah,
this thing.
you really want it. You really want to have something or to possess something. Yes. So it's kind of like jealousy in some ways, where you see something you don't have, and it kind of can turn you green, like they say, jealousy. We want what other people have or what we don't have. It could be something that has to do with your life or your personality or your possessions. At its worst, it can turn into scheming in order to steal something that you don't have or degrading what other people have out of spite.
I wonder if anybody here has ever like thought about stealing someone's boyfriend or girlfriend or like, being like
Oh,
or had that happen to somebody?
I have a story coming up.
Okay, great. I'm excited to hear that story. I don't know what that is.
So the 9th and 10th commandment
All right.
in the catechism.
Oh, hit
Ready?
it again.
Next
There you
slide.
go. You
So
got
the 9th commandment is you shall not covet your neighbor's house. So you shall not yearn for, you shall not really want to have your neighbor's house. So what is this? Are we saying this together? Is that what
Sure,
we're doing?
yeah. Here we go.
Can you guys read it? We'll start with, what is this? So read it together. What is this?
This what
Or
what does this mean? We are to fear and love God so that we do not try to trick our neighbors out of their inheritance or property or try to get it for ourselves by claiming to have a legal right to it and the like, but instead be of help and service to them in keeping what is theirs.
And the 10th commandment. You shall
not covet your neighbor's wife, or male or female workers, or ox, or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor.
What is this, or what does this mean?
We are to fear and love God so that we do not entice, force, or steal away from our neighbors, their spouses, household workers, or livestock, but instead urge them to stay and fulfill their responsibilities to our neighbors.
So, does anybody wish they had more livestock?
I mean, it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, with price.
My sister has chickens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny and not necessarily what we would think of coveting, oxes or donkeys, but those were possessions in this day, in the days of the Israelites, when that was their wealth. Their wealth was in what they owned, and they tended to have animals because they needed animals for meat, needed animals for milk, They needed animals for agriculture.
And
So-
if you used to get married, you basically, there was like an exchange between the families. Like, I'll give you 2 goats if you give me 1 cow, and
Yeah.
now our children are married.
Because there was no money
Right.
during the Israelite time,
Oh,
right? There's no money back then.
yeah.
And then when Martin Luther was elaborating on this, the oxes and donkeys did have value. They did have money then, but some people didn't have money. So what they did have were things like animals.
Yeah.
So think of like what is valuable today. What are things that people own that are valuable today?
Like a big screen TV.
Maybe a big, nice TV or,
phone,
the best phone, the newest phone.
newest
or-
gaming system.
Yeah, those are like, that's what we could fill in the blank here. Because we could easily covet other people's valuables, things that make them,
Yeah.
their possessions.
When I was a kid, I used to go over to my friend's house. My family didn't have a lot of money growing up. And we didn't really get to buy video games, so I go over to their house and play like N64, and I was like, whoa, like this is the high life, that we get to play video games. And that's kind of what I think of this when I would go over to my friend's house and just be like, look at all the nice things. They have a pool in their backyard. Like that just blew my mind.
Yeah, I had a friend who had a lot of Barbies.
A lot of Barbies. So coveting, this happens all the time, right? We go over to people's house and, who here has ever looked at somebody else and thought, if I could only have what they have, right? I mean, this is something that I think we do on an everyday basis. I wish they had their personality. I wish I had their looks, that I was, funnier, or that they have nice things, or they have this like awesome boyfriend or girlfriend. They're really smart. They have good grades. I wish I had what they have. If you're like me, this has happened all the time in my life. I think it's very natural to look at other people and compare ourselves to them and be jealous. And, especially if we're not happy with ourselves, especially if we're not happy with how we look or who we are or with our, how our lives are going. Who has ever felt that way when they look at social media? Yeah. That's like an everyday occurrence. It's very easy to get in this mindset where we're very dissatisfied with who we are, wishing we were smarter or richer or more beautiful. So, what's the big deal? If God gave the commandments to the Israelites in the desert, how does coveting, fit into that vision? It's just in your head, right? If coveting led to like stealing, right? Like if you actually did or acted on it, or you committed adultery with someone else's wife, or stole something, or schemed to do it, of course that's bad. But I feel like most of the time this just stays in our head, right? We're just kind of keeping a mental checklist of all the ways that other people have it better than us, and kind of like wishing we had it like them. So, is looking at other people's lives and wishing we had it like them a bad thing? I mean, how does that affect other people, right? We've been saying the 10 Commandments is all about how do we live in community well. So, it turns out that our thoughts really do affect other people. Because when we're consumed by coveting, when we are constantly thinking, even if we don't act on it, I think our behavior changes. We become bitter or crabby. You might get into fights with people. And when good things happen to other people, we might, make it about ourselves. Robin, I realize I'm doing your part right now, so why don't you jump in?
So there was this time where I was really crabby, and I was wishing I had all kinds of things that I didn't have, and Pastor Evan was there for me.
I know this story.
It was at a big church meeting, and I was just really down on myself that I wanted accessibility to certain people. I wanted connection. Like all these things were happening. We were watching videos of other things going on in other churches, and I was like, angry that I didn't know about it and no one told me and then I wasn't involved. And then I'm on Facebook and I can't get one of those frames on my profile picture, and it was just like, that's just it. I can't do anything right. I don't have what I need. I was completely, do you remember that, Pastor Evan?
Oh, I remember very well.
He was very understanding. He was very
It was
understanding.
just like
But so
utter.
he listened to me.
It was like utter despair that like everything that Robin wanted to do with her life just wasn't working out. And that,
Nothing was enough, and I wasn't, good enough even at getting the profile picture that I wanted on my Facebook page. But Pastor Evan helped me.
yeah.
But, most people would like move away from me, if I was in that kind of state, so when you're feeling like you're not enough, you don't have enough, then that does affect your own attitude, and then it affects other people who are with you. And we start to ignore the good things that are right in front of us when we do that. We miss out on those good things, and we start to have a chip on our shoulder. And then we might be hurting other people's feelings, as though their friendship and support aren't good enough for us, or fixated on what could be rather than the good around us. And this made me think about when I was like 14 years old in a boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
Oh, drama. I'm ready to hear it.
Yeah, this is drama. So there was a boy who I heard liked me, and we were friends, and so I just thought of him as a friend, so I told him that. But then he moved on to another girl and started liking her, and then I saw him move on, and then I was jealous, and I felt like I was jealous. That's all I could say. I wanted something I didn't have, and something that I gave up. And so then I went back to him and I said, actually, I thought about it and I do like you. So then he ended it with her. And came back to me, and then I realized, actually, this is really dumb.
Oh,
I totally
no.
just played this. And so then I came out and told him, I'm sorry. I remember telling the girl, I went to her and I'm like, I didn't mean to do that. And I felt really stupid. And she thought I was pretty stupid too.
Right. And now the boy doesn't have either boyfriend or girl. Yeah.
Right, and I just put him through that for no reason, just because I was jealous and because I could. Part of it is you get a little bit of power trip, and you know, it's not healthy.
It's my money and I want it
affects,
now.
Yeah, it affects me and affected them. So it was something that I definitely regretted doing.
Yeah.
So imagine being in the desert like the Israelites were, and they could not afford to be jealous of one another or have this kind of thing going on where they're stealing one another's boyfriends and girlfriends. Because they got to get along. They're stuck at, it breeds conflict to be, taking things from one another.
Yeah. When we're in this place, I feel like we can just become so bitter and crabby because we just think our life isn't good enough. And then when good things happen to other people, we're mad at them, or we make it all about us, or we poison on each other's happiness. I think this is when it gets really, really bad. So, coveting, I think, though, even more than other people, it really affects us. It can really become all-consuming. And I want to be clear, I don't want this to sound like, if you covet, you're a bad person. We all covet all the time. I covet still now as an adult. The thing is that we are so conditioned to think that what we have and who we are is not enough, that we start to be, depressed about our lives, about our friends, about the things around us, and then we get all wrapped up in our own heads about it. If my life was different, if I was different, if I just had this one thing. When I was in college, I was very lonely. I was very depressed. I had a really rough college experience. And I remember friends around me were getting engaged, and I couldn't be happy for them. I was just mad. Why couldn't that be me? And I remember feeling really bad about it, my friend is having this wonderful thing happen in their life, and I'm just just so consumed by what my life isn't, that I couldn't even join really the celebration of it. And I think it can be like a self-fulfilling prophecy that kind of, feeds itself. When all we focus on is what we don't have, then we just feel worse and worse. So when we are so consumed by coveting, it ends up kind of distancing us from the people that we love because we're wrapped up in our mind. It prevents us from being happy, and it only allows us to be dissatisfied with ourselves and our lives because it doesn't measure up to something or someone else. It pushes away from the things in our life that are good. And I say this as somebody who has done this many times, who's been in that place. And it's so easy to be in that place. And like I said, while our thoughts may not seem like they're a big deal, if left unchecked, if it really starts to consume us, it can really have an effect on us and others around us. So, why do we do this?
Why is coveting such a prevalent issue? Why do we all do it? Why don't we believe that we have what we need? Why don't we believe that we're enough? Why do we believe that someone else or everyone else is better off than we are? Where does that come from? Well, it comes from our culture, right? There's a lot of things that tell you you need more. We're constantly sold this idea that our lives are supposed to be perfect, that endless happiness is possible, and some people actually have it. There are several sources in our culture that spread these ideas to us, right? So Hollywood, magazines, images that you see on TV or in, images you see online, they're photoshopped, they're changed so that faces and skin are more smooth than they are in real life, so that body shapes change. People live these glamorous lifestyles on the red carpet. There's these endings to every story that is just like a fairy tale, and it all becomes a fake version of reality. It's not something that that is true.
Right. Like, if only you get married, then the rest of your life will be free of conflict. Anyone who's married is like, that's not how it works. That these are the things that are sold to us, though, that we're like, if we just reach this ideal, then everything is going to be perfect and great. Social media. I don't need to tell this to you guys. You live this every single day, but Instagram, TikTok, all of these things are warped images of reality. They only really show the highlights of people's life, and sometimes those highlights are kind of fake. I know people who are like, blessed to be married, and I know for a fact that they're like about to get divorced. And it's like, why are you posting this on social media? How many people are posting images of their lonely dinner by themselves? Or how many people are posting pictures of, didn't take a shower today, rolled out of bed, feeling sad? Like maybe once in a while, but like that's not what social media is full of, right? How many people are saying, I had a really bad mental health day today? It's a distorted way to live, right? Like even these pictures on the bottom left, fake, And even if somebody seems to have everything in the world, let me tell you something as somebody who has lived for many years, and Robin would say the same. Everybody has struggles. And they may not be public, but they are happening. Mm-hmm. I have never met a single person in my life who lives a life that is free of sadness, that is free of conflict, that is just perfectly satisfied with everything in their life. That just doesn't exist. But that's the image that we post on social media, that everything is perfect, that everybody's exercising 7 times a day and eating their kale smoothies or whatever. This is a false version of reality. And I think there's even a bigger thing, and it's this idea of the culture that we're in, of success, quote unquote success, being the most important thing, like consumer stuff, right? We know we're constantly being told if you buy the new iPhone 12, like everything's gonna be great, or if you get this car, or if you finally, retire at age 25. Obviously, that's not gonna happen. But, all the endless ads on YouTube about how you can become a millionaire if you just follow this one simple, easy trick, which are all fake. We're just obsessed with this idea of we're supposed to have a successful life. And we worship people who have money, right? We're like, oh, look at these people, these celebrities. I know people are mixed on like Elon Musk, but like we talk about him all the time, right? His life is front page news. We're expected, and I imagine this is how you might feel. Your whole life, everyone's telling you, you gotta get good grades. You gotta show up every day. You gotta do all these extracurriculars. You got to get things that'll look good on your college applications. Plan out your money. Do everything right. Do. And if you somehow manage to do all of that perfectly, your life's gonna be amazing. And if you don't, your life's ruined. I know that's what I was told when I was in school. It was like, if you don't get into the right college, kiss your dreams goodbye, was basically what I was told. When I know so many people who followed their dreams and then realized that wasn't what they wanted anyway. We're fed this idea that if we just keep climbing that ladder, that, we'll end up have this kind of American dream thing in the corner, right? That's going to be happiness that will be fulfilled, and that's going to be the ultimate thing we do with our life. But the thing is, even if you do all the right stuff, that still doesn't guarantee that you'll have all that stuff. That doesn't guarantee that something might happen, or you might have to take care of your parents or something, or you might get injured. And it doesn't mean that when you're rich that you'll be happy. I know a lot of people who have way more than I'll ever have, who are far sadder than I am.
True.
And so it's just this one definition of success that we're constantly fed over and over again, that somehow this is going to leave us happy and fulfilled at the end of our life. But you can't even take any of that with you, right? At the end of it all, what does the money really mean? Mm-hmm. It's more about, how you might be able to be content with what you have.
And we don't talk about mental health very much. It's something that we tend to hide if we are depressed or feel anxious, or if we're self-conscious about our bodies. We feel like we're abnormal, I think, sometimes for experiencing these things because we don't see other people out there talking about it. It's as though there's some concept of normal out there. What is normal? Everyone acts as though they have it all together, even though they might not. We act like things are fine, and then we feel abnormal underneath it all, as if no one else is going through these things. Well, the fact is that having mental health issues is normal. Like Pastor Evan said, everyone has struggles. So people are sad. They are challenged. They are dealing with body image, or they're anxious about things that they're worried about or things that have happened in their life. And those are things that we all face, that we all deal with. We don't need to worry that we're abnormal, because that is very normal.
Right. If you even just look at the statistics, 1 in 4 people have mental illness. I think it's actually higher than that, and a lot of people never get diagnosed with any sense of it. But take it from somebody who has ADHD, there is no such thing as like default brain. We all have tendencies for this or for that or for other things.
We're unique.
Right. It's as common as brown eyes. So, these things, Hollywood fantasies and social media culture and this obsession with success and this myth that there's somehow a normal that we're not, all of these things cause us to just covet, cause us to be consumed by coveting it, constantly feeling like we're not enough, that we're not good enough, that our lives aren't good enough, that we should be having something different. And all this stuff gets in our head, right? We may know, like, that's photoshopped. Or we may know, like, their life isn't that good. But it's in our head, right? We're thinking, when we fail at a football game or something like that, we are, like, getting all in ourselves, and it consumes us. But let me just say, if we chase these things, these ideas that are false and fake, they'll never be enough. It's never going to get us what we want because they're not real. We can't catch them. So what can we do? I think we need to remember to practice gratitude. I like this little graphic. It's something that someone wrote. Things that they're grateful for their health, for the sun, for family and friends, for the sunrise, for the sunset, for kindness, for community. Everybody has our own struggles, right? We all have problems. But even when things are bad, God has put so much in your life that is good. And there are people who love you and who care about you. Even if you wish they were more, or maybe they aren't exactly giving you what they need, there are always people who love you in your life. So I think it's learning how to ignore these images of happiness that the world tells us that we need. Let me tell you, ultimate happiness, this idea that at some point in our life we'll reach like this utopia of happiness and we'll never be sad again, that's not a thing. There's always going to be ups and downs, right? But as sure as there are more downs, there's always going to be more ups. Even when things are really bad, there will be times in your life that are good again. And so no amount of money or success or glamour can change that idea. Instead, God is saying to us, find contentment in knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, that you are exactly who you're supposed to be, to find contentment and peace with the things that you have in your life. It's easier said than done, but that's what God calls us to. And so I like to say, perfect doesn't exist. Just as we can't be perfect, a perfect life doesn't exist. And so I try to instead focus on the things that are good, but also focus on helping other people find contentment and peace. Like Robin despairing about everything that was going bad in her life. I was like, Robin, no! No, Robin, please. And I was like, how can I help you, right? Because we were talking about things that we both care about that we weren't making progress on.
Yeah.
I was like, Robin, how can we do this together? Because I don't want you to be in this place of despair. And that helped me get out of myself. Helped me get out of this in my own head. And if you need a reminder, you may recognize some of these images. You can always check out the board that's right next to my office, right next to your worship reports.
Yeah.
These
fun.
are all of those pictures.
Good messages.
All of those pictures are things that I want you to know and remember. That you don't have to get caught up. They're reminders that those images are fake and you don't need to listen to them.
Yeah, you just need to know that you are not a mistake. You are everything God created you to be, the way you look, and the way that you think, and the way that you act. That is everything God created you to be. And God loves you and thinks you're beautiful, and we think you're beautiful. And you are loved just the way you are. And you're going to continue to change and to grow, and you'll just become more of yourself. And God will be with you through all of that. You are a beautiful creation just as you are today. And adding more won't make you any better because you're the best you can be right now. So just know that and love yourself for that. And to close out, we have a clip to help you remember that. Remember, no matter what happens in your life, who you are or what you have, you always have value.
Okay.
I will say as I'm running.
I am. Somebody.
I'm going to come back. This is a clip from Sesame Street in the 1970s. That's Jesse Jackson who marches.
Clothes are different. My face is different. My hair is different. But I am somebody. I am black, brown, white. I speak a different language. But I must be respected, protected, never rejected. I am God's child. I am somebody. Give yourself a big hand.
You are somebody. You are God's child, and you are loved. I hope you remember that. So why don't you go straight to your groups, I think now, because it's already 10 to 8. So spend some time in your care group. Get caught up. You haven't been together in a little while.
We love you very much, and we'll see you soon, all right?
That's right.
Elliot will be with you.